Hello everyone and welcome back to YeezySupply. In this video we're going to be breaking down the brand new version of NSB. So let's go and begin. Before we go and do so, please go ahead and drop a like, subscribe if you guys are new, and turn on post notifications, turn on next time we upload. You can also go and check out a written detailed overview of this entire new update for NSB. I'll leave that linked down below and you can go ahead and get a copy for yourself if you wish. Let's go ahead and begin. We're going to begin on the copped page and this is what it's going to look like. You click on this icon, it takes you here. I have no analytics to show in today's video, but I will break down this page regardless. So you have three options here at the time of recording this video. Keep in mind everything I show in this video is at the time of recording this video. It may change down the line. So when it comes to analytics, we have 1 day, 1 week and 1 month. So at the time of you clicking 1 day, 1 week, 1 month, it will show you the analytics for that. It shows your successful checkouts and the total amount you have spent, and this number will indicate how much you have copped based on the metric you select. You can go ahead and click this to go ahead and take a screenshot. You can use it off a success post or whatever use you wish, and you have the clear data button as well if you wish to go ahead and clear your data. Let's move over to the profile page and this is what it looks like. So I have gone ahead and blurred out my machine ID for this, but I will go ahead and show you everything on this page. You have the change log. This will go ahead and show you each update and what this consists of per each update. So when you do run an update, instead of just doing the update and not knowing what actually happens in this update, you will be given a detailed log of exactly what was changed in that update. So as you can see, we have the version number and then we have one of the logs here for that update. Then on the profile section, you have current version, you have check for updates. So if I click this, it will go and check out update. Update is available. I can go and download it now if I wish. I'm not going to do it in the video, but as you can see, that's available. And it shows my key expiry. So as you can see, my key expires in 40 days. It shows my machine ID. And then we also have a deactivate button if you wish to deactivate the key and use it elsewhere or give it to a friend. However you want to go and do that. And then you also do have a webhook button here. So if you click this, you can go ahead and enter your webhook. I already have mine set up, so I can go ahead and test it if I wish. I went ahead and clicked the test webhook button. As you can see, this is what a test webhook looks like when you do click that button using NSB. Now moving on to the accounts page, this is where you can go ahead and add accounts so you can use it with your tasks within the bot. So let's go ahead and begin by adding a group. Yes, if you have main and we have Nike main, we're going to click this button. We're going to call it video test accounts, just like so. We're not going to specify it's for Nike, we're just going to say it's general accounts. We're going to click submit and then click into the group. One thing to note is that if you do want to go ahead and delete groups, simply hover over it and click the trash icon. I'm not going to delete it yet because we want to use it in the video. Then we have a few options here. Obviously this number indicates how many accounts you add, pretty self-explanatory. So we're going to click this button and that will go ahead and prompt us to create an account list. So we can go and select a site. So let's say for example, I want to create an account for Adidas Russia, for example. I can go ahead and add an email and a password and that will be my account. So you begin by typing in the email like this, john@gmail.com. This is just an example. Then hit colon and that will separate your email from the password. Then type in your password. Then if you go into a new line, you can add another email just like so. So I've added 2 emails with 2 passwords. So to go ahead and shorten that down, I've added 2 accounts. If I hit the submit button, you will see it adds those accounts, the total changes, it shows the site, the username, the password and the actions available, which is only to go ahead and delete them. I can use the edit all button and that will allow me to go ahead and change the sites or the groups. So if I click on site, I can go ahead and switch the site to any site I want. So let's say for example, I want to go and change this to 100Ds. I click OK. As you can see, the site is changed for all the accounts because this is the edit all button. And I can also go ahead and change the group. So I can put this into different groups if I want. I can put it into main. I'm going to keep it in the group it's in now, but you do have that ability if you wish to use it. You can go ahead and delete all accounts if you wish. You can go ahead and import accounts and you can also export them as well. Just to add on to the import and export options, if you do go ahead and import accounts, it will have to be in .json format. And if you do want to go ahead and export accounts, it will give you a .json format file with all your accounts in. When it comes to going ahead and editing an individual account, all you simply have to do is, let's say for example, I want to go ahead and edit the username. I can click on it and as you can see, I can go ahead and change the account if I wish. Same goes for password as well. But let's move over to the monitors tab. On this page, you can go ahead and set up monitors using your Discord account. So if I go ahead and actually click on this icon, you're going to see Discord pops up. It's going to take me to my Discord account, and once it goes onto the account, you can see I'm logged in and I'm ready to go. So NSB can go ahead and look through my servers and create monitors based off certain channels within certain servers. So I'm going to go ahead and X out of that and demonstrate how to do that. So click the plus button and click refresh servers. That will go ahead and fetch all these servers on your account. When you click this drop down, it will show you a list of all these servers you're part of. So let's say you want to search for a specific one. I want to search for Peachy Pings, and then I can go ahead and select a channel. So let's say I do want to go ahead and monitor Footlocker EU, for example. I can click submit, and that will go ahead and add a monitor. Now on here, I can go ahead and actually pop up the monitor like so. So as you can see, this is the monitor for it. Then we can also go ahead and edit it and delete it. I'll demonstrate that in a second. But this is what the monitor looks like. It says monitoring for new items. You can set up your size. You can choose whether to use a proxy. You can go ahead and choose a profile, and you can choose whether you want to use fast, safe, or off. That is completely up to you when it comes to the task mode. So essentially the use of this is that you can go ahead and put it onto one side. You can go ahead and click on items as they come through, but you can also go ahead and set up blue tasks as well. I will get into greater detail about that in today's video, given this is an overview, but you can go ahead and utilize that as well. Then the next option here obviously is blue tasks. You can go ahead and make sure they're toggled on, or you can toggle them off. It's completely up to you. Then we have Discord proxy. If you wish to go ahead and use a Discord login proxy, go ahead and enter proxy with the formation IP port, username and password, then click submit when you're done. Then obviously the Discord icon is lit up like that because I'm logged into a Discord account. Then we have the import and export option as well. The edit button on the actual monitor itself will go ahead and allow me to edit the server and the actual channel within that server, and I can go ahead and delete a specific monitor as well, like so. Moving on to the captures page, I'm going to go ahead and show you how to go ahead and add capture solvers so you can use them with your tasks. So on the left side here we have stats. It shows these solved tokens. I went ahead and solved a token before this video, that's why it's on 1. So that is useful to go ahead and have that data just in case you want to go ahead and warm up your accounts, or you want to go ahead and swap out some accounts because you know that you've sold too many tokens, etc. Obviously that is useful data. I've just listed some example use cases. So we have the capture solvers. It's on 1 because there's one here at the moment. So let's go ahead and add a new one to use for today's video. We're going to call it video test, and then we can go ahead and add a proxy if we wish. If you leave it blank, it will just use your home IP. So that's what I'm going to go ahead and do. I'm going to click submit, and as you can see, it's then created. Then I have this button here that will go ahead and open the solver. When I open the solver, it shows everything here. It says solve 0 because we've solved 0 and it's waiting for the capture. I'm going to minimize it for now. Then we also have the YouTube button. So if we click this, this is our way of going ahead and attaching a GMO to this actual solver. So I'm going to go ahead and enter an email here. Give me 1 moment to go ahead and do this. Let me log in. So once you're logged in, it will take you to YouTube, and you can go ahead and actually click on certain videos and essentially simulate human activity to go ahead and warm up your Gmail account. Because if Google thinks you're more human, then you will run into less captures, because there's no point in testing a human for captures if you're not a robot. The whole purpose of these captures being here is to prevent bot activity or robot activity. So that goes ahead and breaks down that concept. So essentially, watching these videos will go ahead and warm up your account to go ahead and summarize that. So I can go ahead and X out of this, which I will do for now. Then we can go ahead and delete a specific capture solver if you wish. And we have these 3 dots here. You can edit the solver, you can do a PayPal login, and you can also clear your session as well. If you click edit solver, it will allow you to change the name on the proxy. Now at the top here, we have AYCD. So if you click on this, you can enter your access token and API key if you wish to use AYCD auto solve integration. Then we have the edit all button. You can turn them all on or off. It's completely up to you. Then we have a open all YouTube button. So if you don't want to click this button individually on a ton of solvers, you can click this button. And you can also go ahead and clear all sessions for all your capture solvers if you wish. So that goes ahead and concludes this page. Let's move over to the billing section. And once again, we have a group type format here. So let's go ahead and add a group. Let's call it video test billing group. Then before we click submit, we do need to go ahead and select a billing profile that already exists. Let's click test, click submit, and that will go ahead and actually create the group here. Now from here, we can go ahead and actually add billing profiles into the group. So we have one here already, but let's create a fresh one. Let's go plus, and we have a ton of information here. To make this process quicker, I'm going to click on save as shipping, and that will essentially duplicate your shipping address as your billing address as well. So let's go ahead and enter this information. So it's asking for my first name. I can go ahead and type in my first name. I can go ahead and type in my last name. Then we have a country. Let's do United Kingdom. You have city. I'm going to type in some random information for this, but obviously you actually are using the bot, you'd enter your correct information. Then we have our zip code. Give me one moment for this, and then we have our phone number. Then obviously it'll duplicate our shipping details over to the billing. Then we have the profile name. Let's call this video test profile, just like so. Then we have the card details. Let's go ahead and enter some details here. Then we have the expiry, the CVV, and oh, okay, let's make this actually valid here. Let's say 2025. Let's call it this, and then we have an email here. Let's do john@gmail.com, and then we can also go ahead and set out a checkout limit. So you can set it to only check out only once per site, or check out once per item per site. So obviously this is very useful when you do have budgets, or you want to set certain limits for your billing profiles, or if you're running loads of billing profiles. So I'm going to hit no checkout limit, but be sure to actually check out this feature and actually utilize it when using the bot. Hit submit, and as you can see, it creates the profile. We have the edit button on the profile. We can go and delete the profile. Then we have these three dots to go and clone this profile if we wish. Go ahead and delete it, but that showcases that functionality. Then we have the delete button at the top here. So if you want to select a profile and click delete, you can do that. So let me actually delete test here. As you can see, it goes ahead and deletes test. Then we have import and export if you want to go ahead and utilize that. Now, if you want to go ahead and edit or delete the group, you can hit the edit button on the group or the delete. And if you want to check out all your profiles, you can head here and it'll show all your profiles. So keep in mind, when you delete a profile from a group, it won't delete it overall. It will show up in the all section. So keep that in mind if you do want to go ahead and delete profiles from your groups. And we have a profile counter at the top here. Now let's move over to the proxies page. So we can go and create a list here. Let's call it video test proxies. And I do actually have a proxy to use here, as you can see. So I'm going to go ahead and enter it all in. So I'm going to do this and then colon. And we have this, and this. So let's go ahead and do this. And once again, each field is going to be separated by a comma. So if you have IP, port, username and password, you do need to separate it by a comma as we did for accounts. Click submit, and as you can see, everything gets separated. So IP separated, port, username and password. Just to recap, I separated each of these with a colon. Now once you go ahead and add a proxy, you can actually go ahead and test it. So if you click on this latency button, you can check a site. So let's say, for example, we're going to do DSL London eFlash. Click submit, give it a second to go and test. It should fail because this proxy does not work, but you will see that it says NA because it failed. But if your proxy did work, it would return with a speed based in milliseconds. Then we have the import and export option if you want to go ahead and utilize that. And for each proxy, we can go ahead and also delete it as well. If you want to go ahead and edit any of these fields, you simply have to click on the field and go ahead and edit it, as you guys can see. Now for all lists, if you want to go ahead and edit the list name, you can click this, and you can also go ahead and edit the list of proxies in here, and you can go ahead and delete the list if you wish. Moving on to the task page, this is what it looks like. We're going to begin by creating a tab, so we can go ahead and enter our tasks into that tab. We're going to hit the plus button here. We're going to give it a name. We're going to call it video test tab. Click submit, and it will go ahead and create it. Then you have the actual tab here. You can start everything within the tab. You can stop everything within the tab. You can delete the tab. You can go ahead and double click, and you can go ahead and edit the tab if you wish. It shows how many tasks are added to cart and how many tasks have checked out. Now when we head over to this section, you can see that we have tasks, the number of tasks, we can filter through the tasks. Then we have some collective actions up here that I'm not going to touch for now, but let's go ahead and actually create a task here by clicking the plus button. So this is what it looks like. So we're going to go ahead and assign this task to the one tile that we have available. Then we're going to create 2 tasks. And we're going to select a site. We have a ton of sites here. You can use all auto creating stuff from all monitors. Uses smart account pool, which is labeled as risky, or you can go ahead and use whatever you want. For this example, I'm going to use undefeated. I'm going to stick with save preload. Now let's go ahead and actually pick out an item here that we want to use in the video. So let's go with this item here. We have these New Balance shoes. Okay, so size 9 is in stock. So let's grab this link. Let's put the link in here as our input. Then for the size, we're going to put size 9 because size 9 is in stock. So this can go through the checkout process. It will fail because our profile is fake with fake information, but I just want to showcase the process. We're going to select a profile. We can choose billing group or individual profile. I'm going to go with video test profile. Then for proxies, you can do no proxy, which will use your home IP or the proxy list that you've made. I will be sticking with no proxy because the proxies in my group are fake or don't work. Go to advanced. If you click this, it will show the advanced settings. So we have run task 4, so that's the duration in seconds. We have a delay in milliseconds. Then we have the minimum and maximum price. That's also useful if, for example, it picks up the wrong item and you want to set a minimum maximum price. That can protect you in certain circumstances. You can set up the preset payment gateway. You can set up a password. You can set up a quantity, and that refers to the quantity of items. This refers to the quantity of tasks. So make sure you know the difference between these two. Then you have use shared monitor. You can do that if you wish. Then we have a few options down here. Schedule start, schedule stop, and login. So I'll go ahead and explain everything that this goes ahead and does. So for schedule start, essentially, very simply, you can go ahead and schedule your task to start at a certain time, and schedule stop will allow you to go ahead and stop your task at a certain time. So utilizing these 2 features, you don't even need to be at your desk. For example, if a release were to happen at 4 p.m. and you know you're not going to be home at 4 p.m, you can go ahead and schedule your start at that time. If you know the item's going to sell out in a few minutes and you don't want to continuously run your task and burn through your proxy data, then you can go ahead and set up a schedule stop. So you can go through this entire process and you don't even need to be at your desk whatsoever. I won't be using it in today's video, but it is a very useful feature to go and use. And obviously you can use login, and login will go ahead and use the account. So I'm actually going to go ahead and enter the account on video test accounts because that will be needed for undefeated. And as you can see, it shows the name and the number of accounts. So let's go ahead and click on submit. That will go ahead and create the 2 tasks, as you guys can see. So on the task, you can see the site, the product, the billing, the size, the proxy list, whether we're using it or not, and the status. It is currently idling. If you actually hover over it, it shows all the data there as well. So if you actually go ahead and right click a task, we have a bunch of options here. We have start, edit, delete, restart, clone, remove from tab, inject keywords, inject password, inject site URL, and the logs for that task. I will showcase the delete option. As you can see, we delete the task. Now let's actually go ahead and start the task. That click on this button, you will see it will go through the entire process, and you will actually see that the solve has gone to 1. That is because NSB 3 goes ahead and auto solves your captures for you. So I didn't even need to do anything. It went ahead and solved everything for me. So that is pretty useful. As you can see, it says does not ship to your country because the information is fake and I expected it to fail. But you can see we went through that process very quickly. Now if I actually go ahead and right click on here and go to stop, I can stop the task. Obviously I can edit the task as well, and all the details I use to actually create the task in the first place. I can go ahead and delete it, I can restart it, I can also clone it, as you guys can see. Once again, I can delete it. Then I can remove from tab, and we can also check out the logs. So these are the logs here. So as you can see, it goes through everything, logs in, obviously the account. Make sure you're using accounts for certain sites, don't just plug in random information. So in this case, I made sure to have my account registered at undefeated so you can go through this process. It's waiting for capture, and it solved it pretty much instantly. If you look at the time there, using NSB3 features, once it's logged in, goes to the home page, adds the item, goes to checkout, submitting address, and then obviously it goes through the error here that I've already talked about. So that is pretty useful to use just in case you want to go ahead and identify issues, see what went wrong. The logs feature is very useful. When it comes to inject, very simply, you can go ahead and inject a input into different fields very quickly. So if you don't want to go ahead and stop the task, edit it, restart, you can just simply just inject it and it will go ahead and use what you inject with the task. So I'm going to go ahead and stop all. On that note, when you are running tasks, you have a start all button up there as well. We have a edit all button. So if you click on this, you have a bunch of options for edit all. So let's say, for example, a Supreme item dropped in a different category instead of accessories. I can go to the category, I can go ahead and change it to anything else. But this is quite powerful, so you can go and utilize this if you wish, and you have a ton of options. Then we have the delete all. Then we also have blue tasks. You can use that with the monitor if you wish. And as you can see, for this monitor that we set up earlier, you can see these icons coming through. I'll demonstrate these buttons in just a moment. Let me just minimize this. Then we have the import and export button. So let's go back to that monitor actually, and let's have a look at it. So when you have a monitor, it shows the total items that came through so far. The total is 5. And when we have an item pop through, this is what it looks like. So it shows the site URL, it shows the product, and it shows the image. You can see it. It shows the time it dropped, so the timestamp, and it shows the price. Then we have the quick task button. Using this information, it will go ahead and use the quick task. We can copy the link and we can mass change URLs as well. If I go ahead and actually copy this and I go to my browser here, let's go ahead and test out if it actually gives me the link. I click this. As you can see, it takes me to that product and I can go ahead and check it out myself, or I can configure my quick tasks and I can go ahead and click quick task, or I can mass change my URLs. That is going to go ahead and conclude this overview of NSB. If you guys enjoyed the video, please drop a like, subscribe if you guys are new, and check out the written overview linked down below. And if you do want to go ahead and purchase NSB, a link to that will be linked down below as well.